Ooh, yeah, it's time. Gonna share some news about our gratitude. And yeah, it's time to share something that will help our attitude. It's love morning now. It's love morning. I'm gonna show you how. Hi, good morning. Welcome to Love Morning. This is part of Hug Nation. This is a daily practice. This is a opportunity to share and be present and listen and share some gratitude. It is Saturday morning. I do not adjust just your set. I did bleach my hair. I think it was just yesterday. Was that blonde yesterday? No, I can't remember. I think I was blonde yesterday. I don't know. Good morning. Hello, Razor Blade. It is Saturday. I'm a little sleepy. And I am excited for this day. I'm grateful to be connecting with Shonda and my brother in an hour to record a podcast about the movie The Breakfast Club. We've been doing 80s movies. So I encourage you to check out Hard on the 80s, the podcast. And last one we did was Footloose, I think. And did some good ones with Pretty in Pink and The Last Dragon. It's so fun. But today we're going to talk about Breakfast Club. So last night I rewatched it, and I'm grateful for that experience. It was almost hard to rewatch critically because it was so familiar. You know, like line after line after line. I just I used to say that line out loud. Oh, I used to say that line out loud. Oh, I used to say that line out loud. Good morning, Kiri. Kiri is grateful to be feeling energized this morning. Proud of myself for working out yesterday. Good job. I did not have an especially energized or productive day yesterday. Although I had a nice interview with Michael Ravenwood. That went well. And I did finish the Apple Plus. Was it Apple Plus? I think Apple Plus series Shantaram, which is one of my favorite books that I've read multiple times. And I finally watched the series. I was wondering it's such a long, epic story. So it's interesting, where they cut off season one. But if you were here and would like to share something that you're grateful for, that's why we're here, to connect and recognize we're not alone in the world. Kiri is also grateful for the newest addition to my morning routine. In addition to gratitude, I'm doing self-celebrations. List 3 to 5 things you're super proud of yourself for that day. Love that. That's good. When Lisa and I have been doing end of the day, what I appreciate about you, kind of like a little gratitude for you thing every night. And we haven't made it regular, but recently she said, let's say something that you're grateful about yourself or something that you appreciate about yourself. And it's interesting how different that feels. I feel like I could just talk and talk about gratitude for her and finding gratitude in my world, but being grateful for myself the soil is harder. It takes more digging for me to get into that. So it's a good practice. Good morning, Chris. Chris is grateful for hospitality, my life, my mind, God, and spiritual third parties, kindness, hope, for weird not being an insult, my Minnesota accent, lightning, and parenting. Solid list, Chris. Thanks. I'm still feeling super grateful for the weird 11-second weird video that I made that is now at 960,000 views. And it's funny, now that it's close to 1 million, I really want it to get to 1 million. But it's just been super fun to see comments, and it's when interesting how many of the same ideas come up from people, the same, almost same phrasing, and sometimes something surprising. Like, I got another person this morning that said, I don't support LGBTQ, but I do appreciate your confidence. I'm like, okay. And I wasn't sure how to respond. I started to respond. I'm like, well, I shouldn't give this person's. I'm like, this person's not. They're not going to hear anything I have to say. But I kind of wanted to be like, look, just so you know, I mean, do you realize that you've just made an assumption about my sexuality based on me being weird? Or is it the pink? You just like heads up, like you are living in a limited world if you are going to make these assumptions that are so off. Like, but then I'm like, then I don't want to phrase it in a way that makes it sound like I'm defending, or I care if someone thinks that I'm gay. I don't really care. So I didn't want to. I was like, so I just left it alone. So I am grateful that I was going to say that I am as fit and handsome and well put together enough that someone thinks that I am gay. But I'm more grateful that I genuinely feel zero defensiveness. It's more just like, is this an opportunity to say something and that might be heard, and is this a teachable moment? Because I genuinely, it does not bother me at all. Good morning, Jim. This is a string of beads that was put together by Becca, and I think it's like tiger eye and then rose quartz. Yeah, it feels good. So I've never been much of a beads person, but I really like this one. Thank you. Good morning, Christopher. Grateful for a beautiful day to celebrate the equinox. I forgot about that. Yay. Huzzah. We made it. We survived summer. Yes. Yes. Good morning, Lorian. Good morning. So I'm grateful that I came up with an idea. I'm going to a theme party today, and the theme is deities and gods. And a few days ago, I was like, what, is there any god that has pink hair? Because sometimes it's hard to go to a theme party because almost anything, pink hair certainly affects your options as to what you can dress up at without it being kind of obvious. So I'm like, is there any, good morning, BZ. I was like, is there any, so I'm searching on Google, pink-haired gods or goddesses, pink-haired deities. No, not really. And I was like, and then I decided to go to cut my hair. And then once I cut my hair, I realized that if I shave off the pink, sometimes it shaves some of the pink. It's not all the same length, so there's like patchy, some pinky brown, it looks bad. So then okay, now I gotta bleach it. And once I bleached it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I look like Ken. Or at least when the picture of me, my old picture of me that I used to look at Ken, it looks like me trying to be Ken. And so I was like, what if I went as Lord Ken, God of patriarchy, or God of Barbie Land, God of patriarchy and body, something like that. So I think I'm gonna go as Lord Ken, God of Barbie Land. Tom says, I was Neptune at my last theme party. Greg from the Monaco made me a Triton. That's sweet. Good morning, Victoria. Thank you on the white hair. So once it was bleached, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stay with it blonde. So I put toner in, put a little purple in it to take the yellow out of it. And then I put a little fake tanner on to like really amp up the Ken look. All hail Lord Ken, says Kiri. Yes. Oh, I'm a benevolent God. Don't worry. 2 tablets with the 10 commandments of the patriarchy. Oh, that's a good idea. Ooh. I'm wondering. I got something like and include things about horses in the patriarchy. Maybe I need to rewatch the movie Barbie. Thou shalt ride a horse. Always have horses, commandment number 1. There you go. Happy Equinox, Nicole. Ooh, watching a documentary about gods and goddesses. Well, if you see any that have pink hair, oh, I guess not anymore. I don't have the pink hair anymore. Every night is boys' night. Oh my gosh, Kira, you're on fire. Yes. I gotta. I think I need more coffee to be brainstorming, but I will. I got today to figure this out. The patriarchy 10 commandments. I'm copy pasting. That's great. Thou shalt giddy up. Something about beach. Thou shalt dedicate themselves to beach. Surfing is hard. I don't know. I don't think Giannis, Betsy, or Jim have ever had pink hair. I think Betsy's worn wigs for sure, but thou shalt not make me look less important. Nice. Anna, good morning. We were brainstorming the 10 commandments of the Barbie Land patriarchy. I am going to go to a theme party where the theme is gods and goddesses, and I was going to go as Lord Ken, Lord Ken, god of patriarchy, and then have Kiri had the idea to put together a 10 commandments, a tablet with 10 commandments of the patriarchy based on Barbie. It would have to be very funny because I think patriarchy has some triggering concepts in it, so it would have to be pretty funny. Thou shalt have no genitals. Thou shalt beach. Oh man, I gotta get a piece of paper out. Well, what are you grateful for? Either we could also brainstorming and we're having gratitude. So we got a few more minutes to share what you're grateful for. I'm grateful for the cleverness of this group. I'm grateful for the reminder that we are not alone, that we're surrounded by like-minded, open-hearted people. And speaking of that, I'm super grateful. If you missed me saying the 11-second weird video that went viral on Instagram this week. I just checked this morning. It has 960,000 views, so almost 1 million views. And it's encouraging to know that 1 million people, identify as weird. And I think there's something that's to say about that. And maybe it's just that there's that many people that feel like they need a voice, that they yes, I'm tired of being embarrassed, or I'm tired of trying to dim my light, I'm proud to be weird. And that's, I think that one of the basic concepts of these mornings is so that we realize we're not alone. We don't need to just avoid connecting and smiling and trying to just keep with the status quo. No, you'll also notice in the comments, you'll occasionally see people saying the exact things that encourage us to dim our lights. And if you don't really practice this or think it through, you only, you hear one or two voices like that in your life and you go, This is not a world that's safe to really be vulnerable and bold and out there and weird and authentic. But then you go and you look at this thread and you go, wait a minute. Of these, I don't know, thousands of comments, 95% of them are, fuck yeah, Team Weirdo. So next time you feel like someone looks at you funny, just think, oh, that's one of those 5% of those commenters, not the 95% of my fellow weirdos that are out there. Oh, thou shalt not out-earn me. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Paul. Paul says, I'm grateful for my kids and thinking of their futures and that they can embrace being weird. Nice. Ken commandment number 6, think outside the box. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Victoria is grateful for my cozy house and this new fall season. Yay for fall. Kiri says, thou shalt not slander the Mojo Dojo Casa house. Yeah, Mojo, how do we work in? That's good. Kiri says, that's such a good point, though. It's like people don't realize that staying weird, being yourself, despite people's unkindness, is something you must work hard at. And that's, so a number of the people who have been critical of the video are people who say, if you're working hard at it, you're not really weird, and if you have to work at it, you're being a poser, and and I'm like, look, first, some people I'm like, it's not difficult to be weird. Like, I want to visit where you live, because the world that I live in, there's definitely cultural pressures to kind of stay in line, and in fact, your comments, kind person, is exactly the kind of thing that keeps you in line. So you should be aware of the effect of what you say. And is your intention to discourage people from being different? Because by you chiming in that way, you are one of the voices of discouragement and cutting down the tall flowers to keep them all the same size. Live and let live. Is that in Barbie, or is that just a good commandment? Good morning, Kat. Hi, Kai. Grateful for a decent bathrobe, for neighbors that don't suck, for running water and Cliff Bars. Grateful for good health of body, soul, and mind. Nice. Nicole says, grateful for hearing my son tell his friend while he was trying to guitar for his first time, this is a no judgment zone here. I've never been prouder. That's awesome. Well done, Nicole. Chris says, learning and growth over bullying and harassment, demeaning uselessness. Well, we're going to finish up here and have a hug and remember that we are all on the same team, and it is so much more fun and easy to go through the world with your head up, shining your light when you know that it is appreciated by others. And even if you hear a negative word or you see a joke, like that's, as I'm watching these old 80s movies, because I'm doing this podcast called Hard on the 80s, there's these subtle things that you realize it's acceptable to tease nerds and weirdos and the different people. And there's a lot, like comedians and things and commercials and TV shows. You start to there's these places where it's okay to mock the people that are different. And luckily that has kind of decreased. Like it used to be, it was totally acceptable to make racial jokes and homophobic jokes, but it's still pretty acceptable to, if someone is being weird, that's fair game to tease. And I think that that affects us in subtle ways. So until we start to get to a place in our life where we go, wait a minute, that sucks. Team weirdo. And weirdo for me is a very broad term. I consider you all weird. Thank goodness. And with that, wherever you are, let's have a big squeeze, a big hug, sending out that love to one another, that appreciation and acceptance and gratitude, knowing that as we go through the day and just be weird enough to say hello to a stranger, that we are being activists and love ambassadors, being extra kind. It's so weird that being extra kind is often seen as weird, but let's do it anyway, and especially because of it. So let's take a deep breath in and squeeze one another. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and you beautiful, weird ambassadors of love, thank you for being here for this Hug Nation Love Morning. Have a beautiful day. I love you. I'm here every day at 9 o'clock, although tomorrow, Sunday, is a very good chance that I will not be able to broadcast. So I'll probably see you Monday, unless I see you at Gratitude today or every day at noon and 6 p.m. Have an incredible Saturday and equinox. Wait, no. Autumn. Yeah, right? Is that what it is? Someone just said it. Oh, I missed Brian saying he's grateful for humanity and the global efforts for peace with Peace Week. Sweet. Thanks for that link, Brian. Equinox. Equinox? Okay. I'm grateful for the end of summer. Stop scorching me, son. I mean, thank you for all of your hard work, son. You can just ease up. Take it, slow down a little bit. Chill. Happy Saturday.